Camille is basically a 6-star version of Akakuri with buffing capabilities mainly restricted to heat damage, and his SP regeneration is really good because he's capable of regenerating 100 SP per rotation, which comes in quite handy for heat damage dealers like Leviathan, who needs to use her skills multiple times to absorb and regenerate energy for her ultimate. He's also by far the only unit in the game that can grant 2 link buffs per rotation, which significantly increases your team's overall damage if they are well built on your account. Camille also fixes a major flaw that Leviathan has because he has the ability to transfer his heat infliction onto other targets in multi-wave endgame content, making sure that as long as an enemy remains on the field, there will always be an endless supply of heat infliction within a certain period of time. He also completes the Rosy physical and hybrid teams as the preferred arts infliction unit and a better buffer for Rosy. So in today's video, I'm going to break down Camille's kit to make it very easy to understand how he works, best build, teams, damage comparisons with Akakuri, and then I'll cover the rotation of one of his best team compositions. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Battle skill. His battle skill will always summon these bats that flies or hovers on top of a single enemy. This will apply a heat infliction, apply a 7% heat susceptibility buff, and apply a 7% weakness, which is just a debuff on the enemy that reduces the damage that they can do to your units. The bats will hover on top of the enemy for 45 seconds, but if you eliminate the enemy, the bats will fly off and reapply the buffs and heat infliction on another target within the same 45 seconds duration, so keep in mind that the buff's duration does not reset on a new enemy. Combo skill. Camille's combo skill gets triggered whenever a heat infliction is consumed, like Leviathan does with her final strike gets absorbed to trigger a reaction, like electrification for example, and also gets triggered if an enemy dies while having a heat infliction on them. The combo skill will always recover 20 SP and apply a link buff that increases the damage of the next liberation or battle skill. Aside from SP recovery, the combo skill will do its own damage and trigger a special explosion if the enemy has the bats from the skill hovering on top of them, and heal Camille once based on his intellect. Whenever he heals with a combo skill, he gains a 4% heat damage dealt buff up to 20% if he uses the combo skill 5 times. All of his teammates will gain 25% of this buff, so at 20% heat damage dealt buff, all of his teammates will also get 5% heat damage dealt. Keep in mind that if he's at full health, he gains 2 stacks of this buff with a single combo skill. Ultimate. Camille's ultimate does high damage and apply a heat infliction and recovers 40 SP. The ultimate also replaces his battle skill with a special one where casting it will do damage considered as a combo skill that recovers 40 SP as well, and it applies another link buff for your damage dealer in the team. Keep in mind that this special combo skill still triggers the healing and buffs from this passive if the enemy has the bats hovering on top of them. Build. His weapon is highly recommended because it gives him a lot of ultimate gain efficiency, which is needed since his buffing capabilities are more restricted to his ultimate. It also provides a 9.6% team-wide attack buff and heat damage dealt for 20 seconds with no refinement, further making him a good buffer for Rosy and Leviathan. At max refinement with duplicate, you can expect up to 10% damage increase for the heat damage dealers in your team when compared to his signature weapon with no refinement. But if you can't get the signature weapon for any reason, he has a very decent option that you can use. A no refinement beacon of duty from the battle pass will make your heat damage dealers do up to 90% of damage that his no refinement signature weapon would do, and when it's fully refined with duplicates, team-wide damage from your heat damage dealers in the team is increased to 95% of the damage that his no refinement signature weapon would do. If you're using his weapon, you'll need a 5-star essence with agility boost, heat damage boost, and flow to increase the buffs from the passive. For his gear, best in slot will be the Frontier set, which helps reduce his combo skill cooldown so that you can gain more buffs from this passive and provides buff for the entire team when he recovers SP. The armor should be Frontier's protection suit, gloves should be Frontier's fiber gloves T1, one of the accessories should be Frontier's extra O2 tube, and the last accessory should be the Redeemer seal, which gives him more ultimate gain efficiency. Team options. Camille can be put in any team that you can think of that features Leviathan and Rosie. Rosie's current best in slot hypercarry team will be Rosie, Camille, Perlica, and Gilberta. I did a damage comparison against Neferith Boss with this team versus a variant of this team with P5 Akakuri as Camille's replacement, and Rosie in the Akakuri team suffered a damage loss of 4.4%. For Rosie physical teams, since Camille provides SP recovery, you can run Rosie, Camille, Shen, and then finish it off with your physical DPS like Endmin, Mifu, or even Tapan. You can also run Rosie, Camille, Pog for more SP recovery, and Breach, which increases the physical damage that your entire team can do, and then finally finish it off with Mifu, Endmin, or Tapan. For Leviathan teams, the best team with the highest damage potential is now Leviathan, Camille, Wolfguard, and Gilberta. I compared the damage output of this team against the same team but with P5 Akakuri as Camille's replacement, and Leviathan suffered a damage loss of 1.95%. If you don't have Gilberta on your account, you can replace her with Ardelia or Antal. With that said, I'm gonna cover the rotations for Camille using the Rosie, Camille, Perlica, and Gilberta team composition. Here are the builds that I'm running on all teammates. These are interpretations of the shorthand words that I'll be using to outline the rotation. Keep in mind that while I'm telling you what to do for every part of the rotation, just keep spamming basic attacks for SP recovery. Regardless of whatever endgame mode that you'll be playing, just make sure that all your teammates have their ultimates ready before this rotation will work or be much easier for you to practice. You first start by using Camille's battle skill to apply his buffs and immediately cast his ultimate. Your final strike will trigger Perlica's combo skill, but hold on to it for a while. Use Rosie's battle skill and then use Perlica, Rosie, and Gilberta's combo skill in quick succession. Make sure to wait and time Rosie's second hit of the combo skill perfectly, and it'll trigger Camille's combo skill for you to use. Camille's first combo skill will give you a link buff, so use Perlica's battle skill right after so that she can do more damage. Cast Gilberta's ultimate, Perlica's ultimate, Camille's battle skill, which is now considered as a combo skill, and finally cast Rosie's ultimate to do massive damage. And that pretty much sums up the rotation that you need to follow when playing Camille in any team composition. In summary, just hold on to his second combo skill and then use it before the DPS starts doing damage because of the link buff and the heat damage buff that it provides. But the first link buff can be given to the sub DPS in the team, like how I gave it to Perlica to increase the damage from her battle skill. For his best early potential that I recommend, target P1 mainly because of the extra 5% heat susceptibility buff and the 15% additional duration of the bats that hovers on top of enemies from his skill. The increased duration ensures that you always have heat inflicted on enemies, especially in multi-wave endgame modes, which can save you SP that you would have used to apply them. That'll be all for my Camille character breakdown. Our Discord link will be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with Endfield or you just want a place to chill or hang out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.